see if you can see me. Right. I'm going to... Can someone send a message just to make sure you're receiving the video okay and you can see there's a toaster picture there? Can you just pop something in the chat for me? Oh, good. Thank you, guys. Right, so there are people there. Am I stuttering? Hi, everyone. Yeah. Right, so I'm gonna just try to sort. Right, first thing is, can you hear? I'm pointing that way. It's actually that way. Can you hear the noise my video toaster's making? Is it too loud? She is a bit on the noisy side, but I'll put the mic over there. the mic's. Oh God, this is the mic's over there. Okay, the video toaster's over there, but I think we can hear it from Birmingham. So right, I'm just gonna. There's no fancy stuff this time. Well, not. I tended to mess everything up before, didn't I? So I wouldn't say it was fancy before, but now it's just. I'm going to give you an update in a second. Got to go out, so we'll catch up later. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. Right. Importantly, now Pixel Vixen's going out. I'm definitely not going to be going on past 9. Probably finishing about 8:30. Oh, you can. So the fan noise is all right. Okay, because then we can. Oh, hang on. Because. Oh, for God's sake. We can do things like this. If you want to. I mean, I'm only going to play with this for a little while. This actually, I was going to set some stuff up on it. I was going to set some stuff up on the toaster. I just haven't. Do you know what? I've been all day. I've been finishing off design works for the metalwork, and I think I finished. I've got to do some check-in tomorrow. But I think we're all good there. So, but I was, as I said, I was going to do stuff like this. Here she comes. Say hello to Kiki. Oh no, I don't get out much. Well, what we got here? Let's load up Kiki. Oh, there's Kiki. Let's try a different one, shall we? Here's another one. I did promise I would show my toaster. I'm going to do a proper video on this one day. So a proper toaster, all about my well, a proper video about a video toaster. Should be seen, but I've got to get a SCSI to SD adapter card because the drive in this is really noisy. It works fine, but she is actually very noisy. But I mean, it's a video toaster in a 3000. I mean, it's, what can you say? Look, watch. It's that way, isn't it? So yeah, I will do something with that at another point in time. Oh, we can also do sound effects though. So if I wave to the camera, say goodbye, you even get the sound effects as well. Anyway, there you go. If the toaster gets too noisy, just let me know in the chat. Now, let's see how. I assume we've got quite a few people make it work. I don't want to start too soon. Oh, okay, so there's another. I'm not expecting huge numbers this time. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let me. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my questions over here. Right. So Oh, on the question, if you've got a question, I'm not going to be answering questions for probably about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to go through the update and so on. And then, but remember, if you want to put a question for me to answer, can you put question in capitals at the beginning of the message? Because it stands out easier, because I'm doing this on my own again tonight. And so that's kind of important. Right, so the really important thing is the trip to the moulders. So that's enough. I don't even see my cat over there. I've got a goodie bag. I turned up, and it was a good about 2-hour meeting. And they took me on a tour around the place. Absolutely fantastic place. In fact, let me put the site up so you can see the company I'm talking about, because they really are pretty damn good. Okay, so there's that, and I'm just gonna see if we switch. There you go. So yeah, there's welcome to digital manufacturing. Right, so I got a goodie bag. Okay, it's not an unboxing, but well, maybe it should be. So I obviously turned up there, and as you probably aware, the original case, the front plastics approach. I've only ever made one set, because I knew I'd have to redo the design, and it's so expensive to make the 3D prints for these. It's about £300 to do the whole lot, and so I thought I'd wait. And I visited them, and we went through a whole load of changes, lots of changes that were got to be done. But one of the best things they did actually is they gave me this, which was in the kit, and you turn it into a box. Not that that really matters, but what's the interesting thing is, it's got stuff. It's got like all the things you need to know about injection molding and all the thicknesses. And for example, if you can see that there, it's a bit thick. And oh, that's not the one actually. Where's the one that's got the? And you're never going to see this, but at the back end, because that's so thick, there's a little bit of a dip. So there's all these different things to teach me how to do it. And so the design has changed. Let's shrink that. Let's see if I can find. This is a new one, isn't it? Yeah, this is a new one. Let me put something there so it doesn't, so I don't accidentally shut my screen down. So as you can see here now the new version. It's got an awful lot of material removed. So basically one of the things that we came across was that my material was way too thick. In fact, I can show you the old one. Again, I'm doing this because hopefully you're interested in all this. I need to put that up actually so I can see the... okay. So, yeah, so I'm trying to do 6 things at once here. Right, let me move that out of the way so I can actually see. Not organised this too well today, to be fair, because my screen's a little bit. Let's move that there, put that over there, and get this out of the way a bit. Right, so this is the original one. If you look around the back, if I show you around the back, you can see these areas here, very thick, really thick bits and pieces. Now, what happens, it's not so much the amount of material using, because it actually hasn't made any difference in the material costs, but it can cause dips. So I learned a massive amount just by visiting them on that day. So the design is now obviously much more streamlined to actually the injection molding. Now, 3D printing doesn't have the same problems as injection molding. Now, if you're into injection molding, you'll know all this, so please ignore this. But yeah, exactly. Jan, reinforcement ribs indeed to keep straight after the... Yeah, absolutely right. There's an awful lot. Now, it was really strong before, but now I put there's lots of reinforcing ribs in it. And you can see down here, down the bottom where that was a solid chunk, it's now not. So there's an awful lot of work. Now, this is not finished yet. There's still a couple of things I've got to question them to do with it. So there's still a couple more bits. But that's not far off being complete, okay? I'm also changing the button. The whole button's changing. You're not going to notice this, but we have instead of, it was really complex before, it's like a toggle switch. like with an arm. There's a name, micro switch with an arm, and I had to make complex springs and everything. But now we're changing that. We're going to go for the just standard click click, and put it in the middle of the button, and you push it, and that's my spring pressure. So it's changing there, and it's going to, I think it's going to be a much nicer button. So that change is being done as well, which I haven't done as yet. So the plastic front is, as I said, it's almost done. There's a few little things I've got to sort out, but as you can see, it's all coming along quite nicely. So I'm quite pleased that the meeting, as I said, went very, very well, and they can make it quite quick. It's, you know, I've still got to prototype this again. So once I've got the design where they can mould it, then I'm going to make one more prototype just to make sure there's no mistakes. I'm going to test it out just to be on the safe side. So there will be one more prototype to make, which of course is going to, you know, well, you've seen the timescale. So that's all good. You know, if you're interested in anything, I mean, try these. I mean, I learned so much with this little plastic toy. It was crazy, and I'm really, I was really pleased. In fact, I'm just going to turn off my toaster. Hang on a second. There you go. It's a bit noisy, and I'm sitting here listening to it. So yeah, really, it's just a case now. The design is almost completely done. I'm just fine tuning the ribbon to get, because you have to get it. So you don't want to go above 3mm, and there's a whole load of rules to make it work well. So I've taken a lot of material out of it, extra strength, strengthening ribs in it, and that kind of thing. So there's I'm actually very pleased with that. So we're doing quite well on the plastics. No questions there. Oh yeah, so the other things I got in here. Oh yeah, there's another thing. Look, they gave me all these little bags with samples, textures, stuff like that. So that's really nice. I'm assuming you can see this, but you can see they're just little plastic samples. They show you the textures, and so you know what you're going to get, and you can work on it. Assuming my audio's still okay. If it's not, can you let me know? Just to be on the safe side, but I'm assuming it's okay. I'll put that over there now. So the plastics, they're samples, which is actually really handy. As I said, once this design is complete and it's all ready, then I'll release the drawings as I promised. But it's not worth it yet because they're not complete. What else do we have in here? Injection molding guides, 3D printing guides, CNC guides, loads of stuff. But that actual plastic thing came with this sheet with all the explanations on it. That, if you can get hold of one of them and you're interested, it's actually really worth getting in touch, see if you can scrounge to get one of them. So yeah, that's an absolute godsend as far as the plastic. So the plastic's just a case now of I'm literally just fine tuning this front end now to get the best all-round quality, etc. Because that's kind of important, obviously. But yeah, so that's the plastics. If you've got any questions on this, come back at the end. Right. Oh, the case. So I spent today. If I can show you some pictures. Let me show you what I've been doing today. Now, basically, as you're probably aware, and again, as I always say, I'm showing you this so that you can understand how I'm doing this. But I've obviously got the drawings that are done in I'm using a program called Fusion 360. But what I've done is, now they're pretty much done, and we're just fine tweaking it. What I've been doing now is to make life a little bit easier. I send these kind of drawings off to Barry, and so yeah, come back. Yeah, save that for me later on. Oh God, yeah. Question: sandblasting. Yeah, okay. I'll answer sandblasting. Right, sandblasting. Yeah, depends on the texture. I'm still. It's some kind of texturing, but I don't know if it's going to be necessary to get the quality there. So we're still debating on this, exactly what we're going to be doing. But they will do certain things to the mold to make it the right texture. So that's gonna happen. Right, let's get back into this. So literally all I'm doing is to make life a little bit easier. So he's got the main drawings. It's not, we don't get drawings swapping over in the post. As you can see, I'm just asking him to make changes. So what I do is I send in pictures like this, the holes. Like for example, you can see the power supply here. I made the holes too small, so it really had to screw in. So I've had to increase the size of the holes. Instead of having to put the little guards on the, hang on, I've got one here. If you saw the original case, the pictures, you've probably seen these little things. So instead of putting them on the back, we're going to punch lots of holes to make the vent. So it stops people putting a finger through. It's one less thing to install. Another thing you've got to buy. It's just extra. So we're doing that. And you can see now, I've made a change. That's actually the Amiga version. I'm shrinking the size of the fans. I don't believe you need big fans. So two little 40mm fans. They're going to be fine for any Amiga you're going to put in here, because you've got the fan in the power supply as well. So that's all good. And what you can see there is obviously slots at the bottom. So let's open up another couple, just show you a few interesting ones. So here's the A1200 backplate, and you can see I've changed all the bottoms here because the ports similar place, but they're in different place. So what I'm basically giving him instructions to do it. It's easier that way. And then he gives me the latest drawings. What else? Oh yeah, something else. I'm stretching, the whole case is actually going to be stretched another 10mm in depth. And pulling you can see on, this is actually really confusing, isn't it? Where, on the blue bit it says down, moving the fan down. That isn't. I'm stretching the case another 10mm. It's the same size then as the 3000 depth. Okay, that's the reason. And plus I get a bit more room around the water cooling system. What else? And then it was things like well, that's, yeah, these, you know, it's not very interesting, that one. Let me find one that's interesting. So here, the Amiga 1200 studs. So these are the positions for the new studs. Because I only had the 500 micro ATX and mini ATX on the previous ones, and so this one's got to have a few studs in there for the 1200 and the 600. That's the 1200 one, and there's one for the 600 with the extra studs that are going to go in there. There's one here where I move. That's the 1200. There's one here where you can see these. I've actually got, these are studs for the 500. They were, that one was spot on. These were slightly out. Once it's all set in, it's all in the comfortable right position with boards and everything. I knew that had to be corrected, and so you do this with prototyping, obviously. So the more moved, and there was also I didn't think I was going to have that green stud. Didn't think I was going to originally have that in there because. The problem with that was that I thought it was going to get in the way of the water cooling fan, but it's nowhere near it, so we're going to put the other stud in there, which is obviously, I mean, it's kind of important to have all these studs. Okay, let's get rid of some of them. Again, the lid, and this is a simple change, just move the front forward 10mm. Yeah. What else? Oh, on the, now, if when you buy a case and then you get the back and you go, where's my stud? Okay, one of these studs is going not on theirs, no, not on that. That's the wrong one. Sorry, let me show the back one here. Because of this board we're making for the 1200 600, the power board, and because I forgot that the Amiga's power point is right at the end, and you can see here where my mouse is. Okay. And we've got that little board that Rob's created for me, and he's popped that into there, but of course the stud's in the way. Now, I'm not going to take it off unless we have to, but the stud may disappear. Now, it doesn't matter. I know it's going to, for those who have a nervous tick about these things, it means that there's two there and there's only going to be one there. But it doesn't matter, because if you look down the bottom, there's a stud there, one there, one there. It's overkill, yeah? So you don't really need it, and it gets very busy up this side, so that stud may disappear. So don't panic about it, it'll be fine. The PC one, you can see I'm removing that hole there. I'm going to punch some holes in it. I'm mostly probably not interested in the PC side, but punch some extra holes in it to get some airflow out, more airflow. Even though it's actually running really well, having more holes doesn't hurt. Again, in here we're going to fill holes with the little punches, so it's perforated. And so we don't have to buy a guard. And the other thing with that is, even if you're not having it, because I don't think in the Amiga you'd need fans. I honestly don't think you need fans. So you'd have to buy these things to cover it, just because it can be holes. No, you don't need it. Again, these holes are too small and lift that up a bit. So these are just things that I'll go through with him. So that's basically how that's working. Now, let's go on to another subject. Packaging. And nothing to show you here for the packaging. What I will do though, let's put a nice pretty picture up on the screen. Oh. Oh god, you know what? Yep, I know, absolutely right. Kickstarter video, images. Let's just put a pretty picture on here, because then I can talk about this. So 1500 renders. Yeah, we go. Right, put a pretty picture up on the screen. Okay. So I have mentioned this before, and I am looking into this now. As it stands at the moment, I'm having a real problem with just the packaging at the moment. I bought some. Right, my initial plan was I wanted to try and make it with all recycling materials. And my problem is at the moment is obviously the box is recyclable. I even thought of roll of paper that we can wrap, like the old used to wrap in the old days, and seal it and then drop it into corner pieces and so on. But I'm having trouble getting hold of corrugated corner pieces. So if you know of anyone, I mean, they have to be like nearly an inch thick corner pieces to be able to protect it. So if you know anyone who makes cardboard corner pieces for packaging computers, can you let me know? Because at the moment it's having to be it's one polystyrene was actually a joke. I bought some in, they were wrong size and actually quite hard to get, and I don't want to, I'm not going to make enough to be able to justify going mad with it. So I thought I can actually show you. Let me put this up. Hang on. Bear with me. I'm just going to see if I can find this link. Now, where's it gone? Globe. Here we go. So this is the one I'm looking at the moment. Can you see these? So these are the ones I'm looking at the moment. And unfortunately, I don't think they're recyclable, so it's not ideal, but they are quite small. They are better than these are the other ones I had. I got some of these, samples of these. Okay, and I was feeling really pleased with myself because they're kind of polystyrene corner for fantastic. But then the wife said when they turned up, she said, "What happens if you put them on top of each other?" And it was about 3 inches too big. So they were a stupid idea. So I'm looking at these at the moment. So if you know anyone who does corrugated corner packaging like this, and the actual depth has got, the thickness has got to be at least 25-30 mil to give a nice crush zone. Otherwise I'll end up going with these and in a cardboard box. But that's not the real packaging story I wanted to tell you. The real packaging story is this, and you may have already heard this. And now this will not be standard with the case because I just can't afford to do this. But I am, well, I've been talking to Paul about designing a nice sleeve that can go over the case, and he's going to do all the graphics for it. So I assume you can all hear me still. Everything's okay. Can someone ping me, or ping me if there's a problem? So I'm going to do well, we're looking into doing a sleeve that will slide over the packaging, because for the unboxing experience, and trying to make something nice there so you can have a nice box. Now, as I said, I cannot do this in the cost. It's just not. So there will be an extra charge, and it's only for people on it, because most people have said I don't care, but some people like the idea of a box, and I'd like a box. So you know, I think we probably will do one, and then it means I've got to put it in another box. You see what I mean? It's quite expensive, so it's going to add a little bit. It won't be ridiculous, but it'll just be more or less the cost of the thing, and a little bit on top. So that's something that Paul's working on. And so if you know, assume it all goes well. I still haven't found anyone to print them yet, but plenty of time for that. I'm concentrating on the actual machine, the hardware itself. They make custom packaging of paper pulp. Jan, can you send me to my email address, steve@imeka.net? Can you send me the link for me, so I don't forget, because then I'll look into it, because I'd like to make it completely recyclable. If I can make the box, the corners, then I will also do the wrapped paper and wrap it. I might put a bow on it, but just wrap it nicely so it's all protected. But it's recyclable material, which I'd really like to do. Even though, no one said it yet, I know the front is plastic. Okay, I know the front is plastic. Having said that, if I can't do this well, I'm probably going to end up going plastic bag, because I've got to protect the case before you slop it in. So might end up in a plastic bag going into the polystyrene inserts. But they're only small inserts, so maybe not quite so bad. Wife's invited to tell you Netflix and Kim Dad. Do you know why my wife wants to watch telly? She had to read a book, because everything goes on the internet with her TV, and so we're a bit concerned she might disturb the stream. So that's all good fun. Yeah. So packaging, we may do a sleeve. Not 100%, 90% sure of that. Okay, 90% sure of that. I'm pretty confident we'll do that. Manual. Now, I've been looking for some nice manuals, ring-bound manuals, and I'm going to say this, so kind of commit myself. Now, this was not part of the Kickstarter, so if I can't afford to include it, or I'm going to do a manual. If not, it'll be a PDF and you'll get it emailed or something like that with the order. But what I want to do is a nice ring-bound manual with a nice front, maybe colour. I've looked at the price and they're not too bad. As long as we don't have any major upsets, I should be able to include the manual. But a nice thick manual with pictures, how to build it with a ring binder. And I don't really like the idea of that, so that's something that I want to do. Okay, right. Give us Taj. Just give me a second, and then I'll come back to the questions. Okay, because there's not much more to go through here. DVDs. Right, these slimline DVDs. They're now the as you're aware, the Kickstarter reached a stretch goal. Well, in fact, to be fair, it's about 50 quid short. Once you took everything, I know you said 91,900. So by the time it took, a lot of people pledges failed, and it was just under. But I'm still gonna. Don't worry about that. I'm still gonna do it. The problem we've got is stock of the actual drives. So on the screen at the moment, you can see there's this now. The front is designed for this model, which is the LG GS40N. You can see it on the screen. Okay. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut. No, I can't cut and paste that in there, can I? No, I can't. Because it's another machine. I'm going to buy a bunch of these, probably 100, maybe 120, which may be the last ever. What I suggest you do, and I just hope they get stuck with them, but what I suggest you do is go and buy one of these. If you're going to want to, I know it's 100, but at least over 100 people wanted one. So I am going to buy a bunch, but if you, because I know I'll sell them. So I suggest if you want to jump on and buy one of these just to make sure you've got one. Okay, there, as you can see, they're 27, 28 quid. Now when I sell it, it's going to be more than that. Okay, but it will also include what I've lost. That figures. Where's it gone? But I'm going to include a slim SATA to SATA adapter so you can then plug in something like this. Okay, there's 2 or 3 types of these, and I will probably stock them, but the trouble is, because there's 2 or 3 types, there's some that do 40-way cable, some that do 44-way cable, which are smaller. So it all depends on what cable system you're doing. So I'm going to make it this. So I'm probably not going to bother with these, including, well, unless I build them, but not initially. I'm just shipping, aren't I? So the adapter. So the adapter then plugs into there. You can put that on, and it works beautifully. I mean, this thing's working absolutely fantastic. Well, that thing over there. Yeah. So if you want to buy, I will be honest with you, they're going to go up to like £39 with the adapter. So they're going to go up in price because they're not cheap to buy. I get very little discount, and I don't buy it from them. Luckily, I'm going somewhere else, but I get a little bit less than that. But I've got to make a little bit of profit on these. You just have to. Okay. Now I'm hoping to sort out long-term supply of these because they're very important to the project. Because I want that slot loading DVD drive in there. It makes a massive difference. So yeah. So there's the link up there. If you want to go and buy one. If you buy anything else, the slot will work. Okay, the slot should always work because they're all the same design, but the buttons won't work. I've put my hole so you could the hole in the panel so you can put a pointy thing in it and press the button and slide it out. Now, if you get a different one, I can't guarantee it'll work. I'm pretty damn sure the DVD will go in. That should be fine, but it means you'll have to rely on a software eject mechanism like normal. To be fair. You'll have to make sure, and I've got it on a button on mine. We use an IDE fix. There's a button eject, and it works brilliantly actually. So that's kind of cool. So these little adapters come. There'll be more information about this. Packaging and discuss manual, case changes, video toaster. I've done that. Right, I've done the manual. Website. It's back. I'll give you a little story on the website. Actually, let me just answer this question for. Is it Tajay? I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Forgive me for getting it wrong. There's been a discussion on the Apollo core forum about the possibility of an adapter board for Vampire 4 would make it such a. Look, as soon as I got my Vampire 4, I'll make an adapter. Don't worry yourself too much about it. It's going to go into the slot where the ATX. So there'll be a mounting plate. I'll make a metal plate with the screws to fix, and then adapters. All that kind of stuff I'm going to do. You're welcome to do your own if you want to. Put it in the mini ATX area, and you'll be laughing. But I will do that. Okay. In fact, I get asked that question all the time. eBuyer has the DVD also. Buy it for me. I don't care. Just go and buy them. As I said, mine will be more expensive. I have to make because the adapter's about £5 or so. There's a little bit in there. Of course, I have to get them in, so I need to make a tenner on them. Will there be a backers upgrade window of time where we can add options? Yes. Look, one of the things with the website. Let's go back to. I'll come back to that one. Dave, I'll come back in a sec. Right, the website went down. I've had this virtual machine server for 10 years, something like that, with a company called Easy Space. And because my credit card had expired, they'd sent me 3 or 4 emails. That is true. And unfortunately, they just dropped into my Microsoft's got this lovely way outlook of hiding the emails that they're not really relevant to you, so they hide them. And I didn't actually see them. So after 3 weeks, even though they had another credit card that was approved and was okay to use, they shut down my virtual machine and deleted it. Now, I'm really not happy about this, obviously. And the company's easyspace.com. So if you ever do anything there, just be aware, okay? So I'm really furious about it. I have now moved on to our own hosting house because the company I work for, we have a hosting house. Now you said, why didn't I use them? It's hobby projects. But now I've got it and I've got my own VM on there. I've got tons of space on there. Now, I'm getting to a point here. The website's going to have all the ordering system on it. So at some point in the near future, probably before Christmas actually, I will get all the Kickstarters and create an account for every Kickstarter backer. Once that's done, it will send you an email with a password. You'll need to change the password, okay? There'll be certain rules you have to follow to, you know, like the eight characters, uppercase, number, that kind of thing. And you'll change that, and then there'll be an ordering system on there. And so it will show, oh, you've ordered one of these, okay? And you'll be able to change the colour, and you'll be able to add your options. Okay, so there'll be options to add. There'll be, for example, you'll be able to buy one of the DVD drives. You'll be able to buy any other place, like the back place, if you want to buy. If you're buying an Amiga one and you want to put the PC one in the back, you'll be able to get the back plate for that. If you want to buy extra front panels, you'll be able to buy them. So everything will be on there, and you'll be able to set it all up, and it will tell you at that time roughly what the postage is going to cost based on what I've already explained. Now we are looking at better prices, so those prices may change. You will not have to order it yet. Just update your system. You know, like it'll just say, it's not really a cart system as such, but it's kind of, you're going to set up what you order, what you're going to have, and then it will remember those details. Then when we'll email you at some point before we really go to town and manufacture, we may say like, okay, we're going to lock your order on a certain date, get it right. We won't want your money straight away, obviously. We'll probably want to start processing the extras and the shipping fees a couple of weeks before shipping. So that'll come in, and then you'll pay about that. I'm not going to say timescales because I'm not 100% sure timescales yet. So, but you will get you'll get all this information. So you'll be able to get going with that. Right now, so as you can see, the site's back up. Everything's good, hunky dory. I can't see any more problems. I'm in my own company's hosting house now, so we should be fine. So let's answer this question from Dave. I have an iMac G3 and G5 that have slot loading DVD drives. Does anyone know if they'll fit? God knows. Probably not. If you have a look on this, there's not even a good picture, is there? It's only showing there. I don't have a spare, unfortunately. Let me see if I could, because I want to show you the shape. Okay, can you see, well, these are the kind of, right, these are all pretty much the same. Can you see this one here? Can you see this bump? They're all actually looking, they're all angled at the wrong bloody thing. But they have this bump that drops down. Can you see that? So it's thicker there. Need a better picture. Something that shows the other angle. Because basically it's like two pieces slapped together, even though it's not actually two pieces. Nah, it's not very good, is it? Well, they're showing from the back. It's not showing. They need to flip it over. All right, okay. So basically, if you've got one and it's like that, okay. If you've got one, it's like that, and you can see it's like thicker. It's kind of a lump underneath it and a skinny bit on the top. As long as it's like that, you're probably fine. If not, actually, it's probably not the end of the world, because if you think about it, all it is in the front is a slot. Okay, you'll have to make a mounting frame. Okay, and to hold it so the slot is in line with the slot on the front. That's all you got to do. So any drive should theoretically work if you can make a mounting frame. Okay, so you'll be laughing, because I know one person went out and bought a Blu-ray drive. Obviously he wants a PC, but he bought a Blu-ray drive. So you just, as long as it goes, as long as you mount it on the tray, make your own mounting frame, and it holds in front so the drive can go, the disc can go in and out. Okay, you're laughing. Right, let's see what questions. Most of them has a handle that you can click in and out so you can pull it out. I'm not quite sure what that's saying. Right, really important to understand. These are slot loading drives. This is not a tray. It's not a tray loading drive like one of these. Can you see this? This whole here, look, that's it. There you go. It's not one of them. You can't put that in it. It's not going to work. Very important. These are slot loaders. Now, it's not. I'm probably going to design a 3D model so that these can be made and printed. Yeah, so you will be able to use them. But as far as the injection molding one's concerned, I've done it for slot loading. Why have you? Okay, have you had? Why did you have to log into YouTube Premium? That thing's getting on my nerves. That's really not. I don't know why that is. I mean, I assume you have to have a YouTube account. I didn't know it's premium. Anyway, right. For the PC version, do you also have a PCIe adapter available for mounting the graphics card? Right. Now, I have covered this subject before, but I'll go through it again. Now, I have a few little problems with. Hang on. Okay, so I had a few problems. So this was the original one. Now it's actually designed for this board. Now you'll notice it's actually an 8-way. You can put 16-way. It doesn't matter, but it was designed for this board, and so I designed. But I never tested the bloody thing, did I? I put it in. I designed it. It works beautifully. You slot it in. You plug your card in. It's absolutely wonderful. Okay, really is nice. Bloody card don't work, and they don't make them anymore. Now they said they did say they make some. Now I'm basically going to go back and say, look, if you make them, I'll buy them. There's another one here. This is the 16-way one, but it's actually slightly different size, different height. So there's a couple of board options I'm going to use. But in the meantime, I'm using. It's actually in my case. Okay, right. It's boring, isn't it? Let's put something interesting up. One of these. Now these are shielded ribbons, so these are actually very good. Now you might think, oh no, that's bad. No, these are actually very, very good. So they'll probably ship with the. You can put these in and they'll work perfectly. Okay, there was a thing online as Tech Tips, and he did about 3 meters worth joined together, and it worked fine. So these are perfect. They're just not as pretty as this, but it is designed for one of these. This bugger don't work. So at some point, I will have these available. In the meantime, but these were about £5–10. I will stock them, and they work perfectly. Okay, I've got a 1080, no problem whatsoever. So for now, I'll be doing that. How are we getting another shape? Look at that spider, looking funky, man. Hang on, I might get lost behind. Hang on a second, I'm just going to catch up. Yes, as far as your iMac drives, again, I mean, if you can take it, if you could mount it on the tray, you'd have to make a mounting device, 3D print or whatever. As long as you put it so that the slot, the disc comes out where the hole on the front is, it'll be fine. There'll be no button, but you just have to eject it with software. So that will solve the problem if we run out of stock. The shapes designed for Crails. Okay, there we go. PCI adapter. I think I covered the PCI adapter. You can make the Greetings Germany. 4 bushes. We're going to 2K order there. Thanks for ordering 2, Indy. Paul! Hello, mate. Good to see ya. Okay, so I'm open to questions. So I'm gonna, let's say, well, I mean, I'll answer questions while they're there, unless it gets silly. But I'd like to, because my poor wife's sitting downstairs and I've been working all day on this, literally. And so we've done nothing. We had a nice day yesterday, but today she does the most. So if there's not many questions, then what I'll do is I'll end this, reasonably soon. So if you've got any questions, me again, do I have to 3D print my own mount? You can. I've got, in fact, let me show you mine. I'll show you my one. Probably needs tweaking a bit to make it use less material. Here we go. Here's my GPU support. Wow. No, there you go. £14. I was going to say. So, if you order it in white, it's about £15. Yeah. And it's really good shapeways. Now I'm going to have a load of tools like this. You'll be able to order. There'll probably be 10% markup on it, just a little bit. It won't be a lot, I promise you. Just a little bit of markup to make it, you know, to a little bit extra, because it all helps. But you can see basically the GPU sits on there, and these two screws go into on the base of the case. There's a couple of spare screws, so obviously you probably got a micro ATX or mini ATX. In fact, no, it's using the Amiga 500 mounting screws, I think. Anyway, there's two screws in there. You just put it in there, screw them in, and that is rock solid. Okay, and then you can stick your whacking great heavy GPU on it, screw it in. You're laughing. That works really nicely. But if you want to print your own, you can. I mean, this design should possibly print. You'd have to test. I don't know. I mean, I always use shapeways. I mean, one way you could probably improve it maybe would, if they see this hole here, make that filled, because you'd have to tip it sideways. I mean, I don't like home printers. They do my head in, you know, because you can't have that big gap there, you see. So, but I'll give the designs away and you can make your own. But it's only £15, £16, something like that. So I don't think it's the end of the world. The feet under, okay, the feet under the case, 2 strips, are they optional? Yes. Sadly, I did originally say my plan was to include them for free, but then the prices are kind of the price of everything once really, I mean, and even the plastics actually have gone up. So, oh God. So I had to say when I launched the Kickstarter, they're not included. But there'd be about, I think, £12.50 to £15 a pair. Won't be very much, but you'll have to buy a pair of them. And there may be 1 or 2 sizes. I think it's going to be 40mm, but probably just one size. But otherwise I'm going to have too much stock and it gets silly. But yeah, they will. But they're an optional extra. Because not a lot of people, not everyone wanted them, you see. Because some people didn't like they liked the keyboard idea, but they want it to look like it does. I'll give an example actually why, so you can see the difference. So here's here it is without the legs, which actually looks really nice, and then here it is with the legs, which I think is even better. Now my one's got the legs and I've got the keyboard sliding under. Let's see if he hasn't done one with the keyboard, has he? He's got, yeah, he's mocked one up here. Look. So that's quite nice, but the oh, the lights don't come with it, but you can set them up yourself. Some people want it just flat, and that actually will look quite nice, I must admit. I may even do that underneath. I don't know yet. Right, so yes, there are. Hello, Alan. 5:47 in the morning. You should have waited for it to be. Could have watched the live. The feet give additional ventilation. That's a really good point. If you want to use the water cooling, you've got to put the legs underneath, because it vents down. So the blower blows the air, hot air from the CPU down through the base. You need those legs underneath it so they've got an air gap and it can pump the air out. If you don't put the legs on it, it won't clear the air so well, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's a very, very good point. But for an Amiga, you don't need it. So for an Amiga, you know, I think for the PC, you probably need to do them. Yeah, I mean, look, I said the designs are going to be available. I'm going to release the designs, so I mean, I'm quite happy to put the, if you've bought the thing, quite happy to, you know, make the designs available so you can print them yourself. I can put them on Thingiverse, whatever helps. At the end of the day, because I want to sell the cases, the extras, you know, I want them to be as cheap as possible. Because 3D printing is brilliant, but it's not really cheap. Have you worked out the mains button? I assume you mean the power button. Yes. Yes. It's, in fact, hang on. Here we go. Right. So this is the third iteration. Well, this is the second iteration. The other one's in there, but it wasn't particularly good. So I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to, hopefully the camera will see it. Okay. If I twist that around, can you see? So basically what you've got is a button on the top which connects through the plastic here, and then two springs that hold it apart, and inside is a micro switch. So when you press that, oh, hang on, can you hear that? Got a click to it. It's not like that one on that 3000. That one on the 3000. That one's not happening now. What we're having now is this, which is actually one of the original, or one of the new type of buttons. And so I haven't molded this into the switch yet, but okay, so it's just one of those that's going to go push into the case, and then you'll still have a button like that button there. In fact, let me just take that out actually, because I don't actually need it in there. Bear with me while I pop it out. Doesn't want to come apart. No, we're not going to. Don't want to break it. Right. So yeah, the button. It's a new type of button which I've got to do. I'll do that during the week. But that'd be nice. I think it'd be a nice little click. It'll be a nice little click to it. So that's what I'm aiming for. Is a nice click. It's important. I mean, I'm just funny about those kind of things. Normally I'm 415. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right then. Okay, I bought the case and colleague pledged it for me. I mailed you an hour ago with my mail address because colleague gets the mailings at the moment. Oh, right, Jan. So if your friend ordered it, it's going to be, that might be get a little bit tricky. So not true. I mean, we'll resolve it. Don't worry about it. But what it means, because it's tied to an email address, the whole thing's tied to an email address. And so I'll have to confirm that. They'll have to email me on that email address, and then once it's all set up, and I'll swap the email address over. I can't just do it because you said, you know what I mean? You understand? Will we have the mod LG drive for CD audio to work on the Amiga? Probably not. I don't know. No, because they don't have an audio output as far as I'm aware. And so it's all done in software, and unless the Amiga can play the audio, I think it possibly can, but it will be down to the Amiga to play the tracks. That's not a question for me. I'm just making the hardware fit. So you need to speak to the IDE Fix. Have a check on IDE Fix, because you know, in the old days they used to have audio outputs on the drives, and you could plug that in, put it through a mixer, that kind of thing. But PCs just read the data, and so they should well, Macs, all the computers just read the data coming off the disk, convert it and play it. Yeah. So I don't know if the Amiga will do that. You'd have to find out. I'll have a clicky micro switch. Yeah. See, now that the 3000, it was really funny when I first opened up 3000. That's horrid. It's there's a power supply at the back with basically a big chunky switch. But the button, it's a really nice button on the front, but it's got a big bloody bar behind it. So as you push it, the bar goes through the case and it pushes this button on the switch, and it's really tacky. But I'm hoping this is going to kind of feel similar, you know, as much as for what it's worth at the end of the day. You may find it's better you have to push it in the middle of the button, but you know, to make it feel best. But if you push it to the side, it should still work, because it's only a central spring, whereas everyone has springs either side. Any Amiga logo on the case? Do you think I'm stupid? No. I may include some stickers, like for example, Checkmate. You know, as you can see on this picture, Checkmate logo. I'm going to include them, but I'm leaving it blank, and I may screen print them if people request it. with the Checkmate 1500 Plus, but I'm leaving it blank because I don't want to force people into the logo. You can now, you can laser print or inkjet print onto transparent stickers, and I'm going to include a couple of samples with the case, so you'll be able to put some stickers on, do your own, okay? And at some point, I mean, there's people actually showing interest in maybe making nice badges for them, so you know, but this is gonna, by leaving it blank, it allows me to, for people like Trevor, to have on it Amiga 1, X12, A12, 22. Okay, so it allows him to, he may say he wants to have them screen printed, assuming he can, because he's interested in likes the cases. So, so we may do that because we can do that. But I obviously can't put Amiga on it because they'll jump up and down on me, unless they get in touch and say, we love the case, Steve, you can use the logo, and then I will, but probably not. You can place every logo you want. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'll get jumped on. But you can put what you like. I really don't mind, and I'll show you how it's done. It's really easy. With the Vampire, the audio will come from the HDMI, probably, and the Amiga output. If you're using the Paula, it will come out the Amiga's output. Domed labels are nice. No, they're not. Not in this occasion, because the 3000, well, you can put what you like on your case, but the 3000, it's flush. So if you put a dome, it's going to stick out and look stupid. So I don't think that's going to work on this. Do those wet stickers Revel Spitfire model kits? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Checkmate t-shirts. I actually designed, because I've a nice hoodie, and Paul's probably here. I might actually ask Paul to design a couple, because I actually went on, there's a site you can go to, let me see if I can load it up. There's this great site, T-Mill, I think it's T-Mill, here. T-shirts, get started. Oh no, I've already done that once. Learn more. Here you go, right. So this is site, and I was thinking about doing some, I did actually design them, funnily enough, but I've not actually got around to doing it. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. That's a possibility. Who owns the Amiga Commodore names now? Oh, I don't bloody know. I really don't know. I mean, I suppose it's Amiga Inc., but apparently it went out of business in 2009. I mean, I've checked the trademarks. There is trademark still for another 10 years or something. So, I don't know. I like the idea of a Checkmate t-shirt. I like the idea of a hoodie as well. But I thought I'm probably going to let Paul, if Paul's still watching, I'm probably going to get Paul to do something nice. With a boing ball, just because it's not boing ball. It's two checkered semicircles with my name in the middle. Jens, I don't know. He might have the Commodore name because I think he's putting Commodore on his boards. Yeah, maybe he has. I don't know, but whoever. I mean, I'd love to license it. I'd love to be able to do it, and I'm quite happy to pay. You know, pay a license to make a badge. I mean, it's one of my annoyances. I want to try and, you know, I'd love to get this all sorted out because I've got the other thing is I want to do the operating system on the front. I assume, oh, here we go. You've probably all seen, now my streaming quality may drop, may fall off the planet. But I really like this. So if the streaming goes a bit weird, you can let me know, okay? Just let me know. That might echo. So this is really nice. I've shown this before. When I build, I'm going to be building complete PCs for people, and I'm going to be including Amiga Forever and Amiga Kit. Maybe also Amiga 3.1.4. But I mean, all that's in flux at the moment because of the rows. Really getting on my nerves. But if they could just sort themselves out, then we can. We can do some really good business with this, because a lot of PC people. I mean, 25% of people are building PCs, and there's a lot more people showing interest in it. So anyway, as you can see, this is AmiKit running on my machine that I am streaming from as well. But it's got this fantastic thing called Rabbit Hole. Now, it was a part of the Alice project, but this runs in AmiKit X now. And so I can just double click on Chrome and up comes Chrome. And yet, as far as you're concerned, you're still kind of running Amiga. I can flip round and I can go here. Oh, I've got lots running here, yeah. So basically, where's the other one? There we go. But the idea is, when you're running the a Windows app, oh, in fact, you can't see it, but there's normally a little taskbar thing there. You click on that, and then it goes away. But I've also got my Oculus Rift software on here as well, so it will actually... I don't want to do that because that will cause a real problem. But the actual Amiga Forever only uses one core, so it's not really affecting things. And it's using one core about 80%, 90%. So you still got... I've got 4 cores, and even on the cheap i3s, you've got 3 cores still spare. So actually it runs really well. It's a lovely layer on top. And it almost completely hides Windows unless you need it. So, for example, if I want to run a notepad... Oh, I've got... now, to bear in mind, I've got 3 screens here. So if you're running a single screen... But it's actually really nice. And of course, you've... oh, that's my Windows. Here's AmiKit. Demos. So I'm running AmiKit on the same machine. I think there's massive potential here. But I think that's really nice. Alan, yeah, you know what, you're right. Look, my Checkmate name goes back to 1988. Nearly as long as the Amiga. Okay? So, but it's not as well known as Amiga. But, for anyone who had computers back then, they may have known about it. So the name, I'm keeping the name, just calling it Checkmate 1500 Plus. Hopefully you've all read Dave's book. Where's the book? Have you read this? Because, give us a second. Here's my section. So, there's about, I think it's about, my section's, what is it? 302... It's 16 pages. Yeah. And it's all my AROS stuff in here. It's called Love Letter to AROS. So good things I've done, bad things I did, everything's in here. It's all in there. I made it all. I didn't hold any punches. So people, this is a project I did a long time ago, which is the bus board we did for IQ Tower. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but that was amazing. And you put a 500 in it. Yeah. Oh, so if you haven't already got the book, go out and buy it. I'm sure he'll sell you a copy. I'm really pleased with it. I'm in it, obviously, and there's the back. But Paul did a great job on the designs. Paul Kitchen did the design, and this is lovely. This is all nice and textured. So I like that. But yeah, so go out and buy that. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to shut this down in case it affects my streaming. Shut that down. And let's bring up some pictures again. I really like these pictures. There you go. So, how are we doing for time? Okay, it's an hour. Right. She was wrong. He licensed Commodore. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he did license Commodore. But I'm not 100% sure. When you have time, make a video about your program you can use in PC. I don't remember your program name anymore. Oh, okay, you're talking about Siamese system. Is it Zakath? The Siamese system. No, that's not it. Come to daddy. Siamese. I actually bought this about 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. after the gateway, it's in the book, but after the gateway problem, I lost the plot and lost quite a lot actually. And I threw this away, but I managed to buy one of these for, it cost me £150. But I was pleased to pay it. And I got these. So I will do a video about that one day and set it all up again. Because it was a great product. You know, I'm kind of doing a new version of Siamese with where's that gone? Here we go. There's going to be a new version of Siamese systems. Some of you may or may not know, to do with the Raspberry Pi. Stop doing that. To do with the Raspberry Pi and one of these HDMI video switchers and into the Ethernet connection. Now, a guy called Alistair, I've forgotten his name, God. And I still haven't tested this. I mean, I've just been so busy. But I've got it. I've got the software. Now, you know, it's got to be tested. But basically, you will be able to stick these in your 500 case. If you use, it's no point with a PC. But if you've got the 500 with a Vampire, plug these into it, connect it up via the Ethernet, run the Siamese software, and it will allow you to use Linux by flicking the screen backwards and forwards between it. So it becomes, Linux becomes another screen. Just uses the switcher to switch, becomes another screen, and then you can use modern software, and you can use your browser and all that kind of thing, and then switch back and you have all your Mega stuff. So that's actually a big deal, I think, and that will be coming out when the case ships. I will do a video about Siamese now, but I'll probably do a video about the old Siamese and then the new Siamese together. There's a lot of people, 75 people now. Right, come on, get some questions to me, because I'm going to finish this at 8:30, okay? And so I'm going to keep going up until 8:20, so that it's not too ridiculously long. I need to spend some time with the wife today. She's, bless her, she's an absolute angel. But she's been on her own most of the day today. So a nice day yesterday, but been on her own today because I've been working on the case. So come on, get these questions in, because right now I'm not quite sure what I'm talking about now, unless I try and make something up. Wah, wah, wah. If there's no questions in 5 minutes, I'm gonna go. I suppose the next stream, I'll do another one next month, probably mid-December. I may have the new site up then. As I said, the designs are, well, let's put up the black picture because that's really nice. Want to see the black one? Look at that. The black one's going to be really cool. I've forgotten what I was going to say. There's no questions. Am I missing some questions? Oh, hang on. Oh man, I'm missing off the bottom here. Hang on. Right, let me go through these. Anything said about the Vampire V4 and Raspberry Pi Siamese? I've done that, hopefully. I love the concept behind computers. I appreciate that. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, I don't claim too much credit. I mean, yeah, obviously the design, etc., etc. But the look, I don't claim the credit for it because it's the 3000. I literally copied the 3000 design. I think I brought it up to date. And so it's a bit wider, a couple of inches wider, but it's a lot more flexible. So I think it's, I brought it up to date. Well, you know, so you can put 5 1/4 drives in it, that kind of thing. No, not running the Kickstarter for the new Siamese. Don't need to. It's free. It's gonna be free. Okay. You buy yourself a Pi. You get yourself one of these switchers. You buy an adapter to mount it all from the Shapeways page. You get the software for free. Okay. Now I might do a kit, charge of 5 or 10 on top. Don't know, but you'll be able to do it. And the software is open source. So the agreement with Alistair is that he gets a case basically, or the money if it doesn't happen, which you get a case now. So and it's all open source. What progress have you made with the Kickstarter? I'm not quite sure what that means, because unless you've only just joined in, I mean, I'm in the process of making stuff. Go and see the timeline. How about making a case ready for the Ultimate 60? Maybe. A lot of people have asked. I've been asked about the Atari ST. Don't throw things at the screen. Spectrums, Commodore 64. A lot of people have asked about putting and all this is possible. Let me get this lot out first. It's just a different back panel, maybe an adapter. It's the same as the Vampires. It's quite straightforward actually. Collect case and quick meet. Right, Dave. I'm considering you can't just turn. Unfortunately, no one will be able to collect it as such. But I'm thinking of having like Dave. Well, you may not have been about. I may do an event where you can collect it, maybe from the Cambridge Museum. I may do something like Dave Pleasance did, and so take a whole bunch there, and then you can come and collect them there, and then I can do a like a chat, go through it, show you the whole thing. I mean, by then you should have seen the videos how to build it, and please read the manual before you open the box. Well, open the box, then read the manual, then open the case. So yeah, there may be a collective, but obviously not from here, because I haven't got. I mean, it's my house, so there's nowhere to visit. Brilliant work, thanks a lot. What about cherry keyboards you've discussed? USB for Vampire. Yeah, keyboards are a big thing here. I've thrown the other keyboard in the lot. Any of you that are Patreons, you may be aware, and you probably got aware anyway, I've done this metal case and I cocked it up. The new one's being made at the moment, but it's not going to be ready until about the 25th of September. Once that's done, I'm making 5 of them. One for me, one to go off to the guys who are going to make me some cables, and then there'll be a couple left over, which I am going to pick suitable Patreon backers and let them have it either for free or for the cost of shipping. Only to the Patreon backers, and probably the ones who've actually put quite a lot in. So, but looking for, have a look, see what you think, and have a play, because I need to do that, because my Patreons have been wonderful. Oh, okay, Rob, I think I've just asked that, so answered that, sorry. Thank you for the keyboard case, yeah. How is AOS moving? It's moving. I mean, I don't do an awful lot with AOS these days. I'm too busy. But as you know, look, my chapter in David's book is a love letter to AOS. I'm not giving it up. But I've just got so many other things to do. Oh, Amiga 34. I'm so really excited about this. I'm really excited about this. Has he done it in a look? Yeah, it's gonna be there. I'm going. I'm totally going. My first computer show since World of Amiga '98. That's a long time ago. And so I'm going to be there. They've asked me to do a little talk. So don't yawn too much. Don't throw eggs. But if you do throw eggs, could you make me a sandwich and throw them? But yeah, so I'll be there. I might upset a few people, as this is what I like to do. God help if Petro turns up. But yeah, so I'll be there. I'm really looking forward to that. Ready by Jan 26th for our event? No. You know the time scale. It's on the Kickstarter. Amiga 34 General. Yes, I know it's official. It's fantastic, and I'm really pleased with that. Retro Man Cave's gone quiet. Yeah, I don't know where he's gone. He'll probably pop up in a minute and go, hello. YouTube Premiums. Oh yeah, I don't. Bloody YouTube Premium. New posters and flyers. Yeah, okay. Question. Right, Mark. Do we have to re-register our details to Checkmate 15? Okay, I'm really sorry about this. When they deleted my virtual machine, which I am still furious about. All the data's gone. Now, luckily, I hadn't put anything on there because I hadn't bothered backing it up, and all it had was these 300 email addresses on there. So that's all gone. They just deleted that thing. Very nice of them. So I'm doing it all again, but this time I'm actually going to be. You don't have to. You're not going to re-register as you did before. So don't do that. I'm going to register all the Kickstarter backers. I'm going to create their accounts and set everything up for them. I know there's an awful lot of them, but I wrote the software for this system, so I'm just going to write a script and some code, fire it all into the system, set it all up what they got, and then that's going to do that automatically. And then you'll get emails from the system and so on. So don't bother re-registering for now. At some point, if you're not a backer, it'll be worth registering at some point, but don't do it now because I'm probably going to delete everything that's on there again and just the database, because I'm going to set the whole thing up completely on my laptop and upload the database. So what's on there now is read only. Don't do anything with it. Okay. Right, come on, so many more questions, because I don't think there's anything more I can say at the moment. To be blunt, Strictly's on. Can't miss Strictly. There's no more questions. So I'm going to wind this up, I think. I'll keep mine just in case someone pops one in. I'm going to wind this up now. If you've got any more questions, just email them to me and I'll answer them. But I will do another one of these definitely next month. Probably. Can you do a summary? I missed the beginning. No. Watch the video. Okay, because when it's finished, you'll be able to watch this over again. It's too much. I went through. I visited the molders, the package. Watch the video. It's too much. Are you going to do vids in the manufacturing or Lang? No, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to film in there. They won't let me. They're kind of funny about that. But I will say this: if you go on the site, they show you the inside. It is an amazing place, and it's only 100 miles from me. It's amazing. Yeah, 76 minutes is good. Yeah, so yeah, it's an amazing place. Right, so I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks for turning up. 75 people. I think it's pretty cool. Probably people coming in and out. Probably a few more people are going to watch this afterwards. I hope you enjoyed the video. If not, sorry. I hope I got the microphone at the right distance this time, and that you saw the toaster at the beginning. Again, thank you very much. I'll speak to you in, I don't know, say a month's time. There'll be more information. It's not going to be honest. The next couple of months, it's not really going to be an awful lot of information. I will probably have the new keyboards actually. When the keyboards, I may do once the new keyboard arrives, I may do the next stream then, because then I can talk about the keyboard, okay, and show you that working, which would be quite cool. But yeah, so I'm going to end this now. There's no more questions. Thanks very much, as always. I do enjoy these, and I'll speak to you soon, and see you in a few weeks. Any emails, just send them to me, steve@imeka.net, and I'll always answer them pretty quickly. All right, see you later, guys. Thanks very much, and I'm going to disappear probably soon, or there'll be me hanging on.